Welcome back, everybody. We have jumped straight into the draft here. Well, is it a draft or is it just the champions? I don't know. Up to you,
It's a random draft.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the blue team real quick. We do have Lux, Diana, Jarvan, Lee Sin, and Warwick. On the red side, it is Vayne, Sivir, Udyr, Pyke, and Akali. Well, I don't think we're getting...
versus none again.
It is, but those are short-range AD carries. It's a Sivir and a Vayne, so they're not going to be doing nearly as much poke as we did see in the last game. But
yeah, and they do have the disadvantage of Udyr, so you can say it sort of balances out.
It's true. I think this will be much more 5v5s. Both teams have pretty good engage.
Yeah.
Very particularly the blue side with Jarvan, Lee Sin, Warwick, and Diana all being able to engage. But they're going to struggle to clear waves. Particularly against a Sivir just throwing out all the wave clear in the world. The constant threat of an Akali engage as well. With that stealth, Pyke obviously can do that too. Which team comp do you really favour here?
Oh, I think, again, it comes down to execution, right? I think if Red Team are able to just weather the storm and just wait it out until late game, I think they do have much more of a fighting chance. It is just going to be pretty difficult for them in the first few minutes. Of course, like you did point out, Blue Team does come in with a lot of engage, as well as combo potential with the Cataclysm and all the damage that they can pump out into a very small area. So, like I said, it just comes down to execution. Who's going to be able to play the early game better? Is Blue Team going to be able to find the engages that they need to find in order to snowball into the late game? Or is Red Team going to be able to weather the storm and just wait it out?
Yeah, I mean, that is what it's going to come down to. With a minute and a half left on our spectator delay here, we'll be right back to talk about these comps a little bit more. See you in about a minute and a bit. See you then, guys. Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, we are on the load screen here for our third round of the FSL ARAM tournament, and we have hit the rift thick and fast. Now, we were struggling to assess these two comps. Have you thought of anything more, or are we still just kind of waiting to see how it plays out?
We're just sort of waiting to see how it plays out. Like we did discuss a bit in the break. It is all going to be about engages. When it comes down to it, we do see a lot of alpha damage. That is damage that comes up front, coming in from the blue team. So if they are able to, sort of burst down one or two members at the start of any given fight, they are looking pretty strong to carry on the game. But if red team are able to just sit back, relax, and say, hey, we're not going to give you the opportunity to put down all the damage that you do have onto a specific target, they are looking like they're going to be sitting very happy.
Absolutely, and we do have the explosive potential of a Pike in this game.
Right.
Can see some very big reset chains in these potentially very clumped up 5v5s. Lots of gold being dished out. Lots of lethality early. Does, of course, pretty much start, very literally start, with a serrated Dirk. Into no armor from the other side, as that has a Jarvan that started Phage.
Yep, and I do believe there are some more modifications to Pike. There are modifications to a lot of champion because it's ARAM, but Pike does deal.
Ooh, as speaking of dealing damage, here we go. The first fight has started early. It's a 1-for-1, 2-for-1, as Lux will get another kill. Udyr in the middle of the enemy team, trying to do much as Mr. Udyr can, but it's not very much as more kills coming in. 1000 IQ, E-Girl flashing aside, candle burn, very low, can't get anything done. And it's a very strong win here for the blue side, as Lux just kind of ints at the end. But it's ARAM, that just means she can spend her gold.
5% more damage, that's what I was gonna say. But yeah, you can't really take these fights if you're on red team. As you can see that blue, this early on in the game, they do have so much upfront damage that they are just able to run through the entirety of the red team roster. I do believe Lux only went down because of a very generous turret shot.
That was a little bit of an unlucky turret shot for sure, as the red team does get the push, but it's not going to matter too much. They can't go any further forward. Is just going to be back to a bit of ping pong. For once, that's not an insult to the teams. Ping ponging the waves is kind of what you have to do in an ARAM. We're not on Summoner's Rift. We're not watching NA.
Oof. Oof, okay, we're going there already. Alright. Alright, now, yeah, we are just gonna see blue continue to push up the wave because red, they can't really step up unless they want to risk that sort of engage, and frankly, they just don't win them, so right now, we are seeing what's expected, right?
Ooh, but there's a hook straight onto Hickey. Did use the EQ, got marked with the snowball. Candleburn went much further forward than I think she anticipated. Because of that EQ, Neve has gone very, very low. Yuzi, once again, doing everything that an Udyr can, and it's not very much. And Simone now gets caught. The red team is getting absolutely shredded. The Pike stun does a lot to get the last two of them out. But it's now 7-2 in kills. And the blue team, well, it just looks like they do a bit more damage.
Yep, that fight was just, you know, the definition of unfortunate. I mean, they got a good engage. Akali decided to go in. Unfortunately, was pulled straight into the backline with no cooldowns to speak of, and unfortunately was just taken out. So that's a huge chunk of early damage gone on the side of red, and they just straight up lose that fight.
Oh yeah, they lost it pretty big time, and it will now be blue pushing in once again. Of course, that last fight, the effects in the gold don't really come in yet. The blue team can't go and spend until they die. They might be looking for a suicide fight soon enough, at least on the 3 members of their team that haven't died. That's an interesting bit of tactics there. When do you want to die? Because you have to eventually, right?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it does come down to who has the favorable minion wave. I think in ARAMs, minions do actually matter a lot more than people think. Right now, we do see blue in a more advantageous position, of course, and if they do die, it doesn't really matter all that much. But if red die, if they are picked off, you know, like 2 or 3 champions, that is going to be a significant chunk of damage going on to their tower.
Yeah, for sure. It depends who goes down. I think Yuzi can definitely be used as a little bit of a, strap the Udyr to the missile and fire it at them. Just try and take one down with you. It doesn't really matter if you come back as Udyr. It's very hard to have an impact on the Howling Abyss. Very unfortunate role here for Yuzi. But we'll have to see what she can do.
Just not much you can speak about in Udyr. I've played him once in Howling Abyss and, you know, it's just hell. There's not much you can do. But obviously, these players are much better than I am, so hopefully they can make the champion work.
Hopefully. I'd love to see some big highlight Udyr moments, but I think we might just be looking for some flash bear slaps. It's also glacial augment Udyr. So just being a bit of a utility bot. That's probably a good call. Just trying to keep your ADCs alive.
Right. At this point, we aren't seeing too much of a difference in gold. I believe there is a slight advantage for currently utilized gold on the side of red just because they've died so many more times. But at this point, it just doesn't really matter. But if you do switch over to gold, if you do take a look at how much gold blue team has stuffed into their pockets right now, unspent, you can see that if they do die, if they do manage to die and go back and pick up a few more items, they are going to be in a significantly stronger spot. The lowest gold count that I do see is on the Lux with 2.1k gold, which is still about one item at this point in the game.
Oh, but here is the engage, the Cataclysm into the final spark. No one has actually gone down there, but there is the Moon Laser being used. Everyone on red team so very low, and Chizu was denied going forward. Candleburn is not done, though, and she tries to get onto 1000 IQ E-Girl, but no, will get cleaned up there. And in the end, it's a 2-for-1. Not the big fight I was expecting. I think we were very close to Chizu getting a lot of kills with the death from below.
Yep, it was looking pretty spicy. Unfortunately, did not respect the healing that Warwick does bring, and Akali does go down in the back of that fight.
Absolutely. And now the red team, once again, pushing the wave back out. The tower still fairly healthy. Of course, the blue side tower is on full health as Chizu just goes forward like an absolute madwoman, doing so much damage, but not enough to actually get anything finished. Candleburn does get 2 in that shroud, actually doing a lot of damage here. Could keep this going. Clody picks one up with the boomerang blade, and there's a kill for Vayne, the shutdown. It's only Kiara Fly on the Lux who survives, and blue team takes some deaths, but they now pick up some items.
Yep, and at the end of that fight, we did see the win conditions for these skirmishes for the red team as they're not done.
No, they are not. They want this Lux, and they'll get her. And Simone, I think, knows that she's going to go down, and oh well, that's fine. Take the death. Oh, the Warwick ult does hit the spell shield of Clody. Very well done there on the Sivir. 1000 IQ Eagle does not get taken down by the death from below. That X-shaped hitbox is an absolute menace, and now the red team will be cleaned up. The fights are ping-ponging just as much as the waves, as it's very, very back and forth.
Yep, and now you're left with Udyr to defend the tier 1 turret, and frankly, he's not going to be able to do much against a 4 stack, so they will be able to pick up this one turret, and the start of that fight was only allowed to begin because of significant disrespect coming in from the side of red team. I have no idea why they were walking up that far. They already had a bit of damage on the turret, and they're going in again.
They are going in. The tower is down. Candleburn flying through into the backside. It has been tagged up by Lee Sin. That shroud not really providing much stealth. And here are the health bars beginning to get very, very low. This is really close, but there into the back line goes Claria on the Lee Sin. Yuzi on the Udyr. Did pull enough aggro that this is going to be a fight that the red team win as Kiara Fly drops. And it's the ace.
Yep, an ace coming in from the red team, and it's just, you know, a ping-ponging, like you said, of disrespect coming in from both these teams. You did see red over-pushing a little bit into blue's tier 1 turret, and you saw the exact same thing coming in from blue side into the red team's second tier turret. The only good side for blue coming in from that fight is that they did manage to take up tier 2, while red is only going to be able to pick up their tier 1 turret right now.
Ooh, and Hickey goes in, the Cataclysm being used against her a little bit, as it was locked up on the side of it. Udyr going forward. There's the Diana ult being used. Neve doing as much as she can. It's not enough at the moment, though. This is a very tanky Udyr, actually getting a lot done, just in terms of being a distraction. And now the rest of the red team moving forward. Lots of damage coming out of these AD carries. Can we see the pike get rolling? No, Chizu does go down. 1000 IQ Ego with the 3-man fear, but is quite low. There's the flash away from Clody. Will activate the heal. Everyone's about to get it, though. Simone just about surviving. No, down she goes. And now it's once again the ping pong again. And it's an ace. This time the red team going down. But this time a team has a minion wave and can take an inhibitor. The blue team comes out very far ahead.
Yep, significantly more action coming in this game than the previous one, as I don't think they want to take this engage. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was okay. They're going in. All right.
That they are for sure. 1000 IQ Eagle takes a lot of damage. There's the kill. And it looks like they definitely want to take this engage. Candleburn flying forward. Yuzi gets the stun. There is a lot of ults though. That Lux ult hit all three. Nevi very low. And the death from below does get the reset. So we could see a little bit more. But I think they've gotten too far away now. And it's once again back down to the other side of the abyss we go. I mean, this is just
You are
non-stop
getting a lot of
action.
practice in, aren't you?
I mean, I'm losing track. This is a bit more intense than the VCS, and that's not something I say often.
Alright. It's Howling Abyss, we're having fun, but
Absolutely,
yeah, I don't
it's
really
good
get
fun.
to speak. I'm not sure what point I was trying to make beforehand. But yeah, at this point, the AD carries, unfortunately for Red Team, they don't really do as much damage as perhaps they would prefer. So, looking for these engages, they have to play it very safe. We did see a sustained engage coming in from Blue earlier, which theoretically goes favorable for the side of Red, but unfortunately, again, because they don't have that much damage on the Sivir and the Vayne, Blue was just able to run through them. Give it a few more minutes, perhaps you try that again, it goes a different way, but right now I think they just want to play a little more safe.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, as another
I
engage
lied.
is on the brew. It might have made sense, but it doesn't mean that the players are going to do it. The final spark dealing a lot of damage. That Udyr was cleaned up, and there is the Rage Cage, living up to its name, as I don't think the red team was happy about it. They were locked in there, and Candleburn throws herself forward on this Akali, doing so much. We'll get two. Can she find a third? No. Gets kicked into the Resonating Strike. Simone has to deal with 1000 IQ E-Girl. It's just the ADCs alive. The Warwick trying to get it all done. Gets one. She get two? Oh, no. Very good spell shield there. Will we go down? No! Clody kites it back.
Okay, well.
Here we
was
go.
But yeah, we did see that Red Team initially, at the end of that fight, was in fact baited in by the exhaust. Hey, the Warwick is exhausted, he can't run at us, let's run at him. Then the exhaust disappears and he turns right back around. But unfortunately, the low health bars were too delicious for Blue to ignore. And Lee Sin and Warwick do in fact pay for their over-eagerness.
That they do, and we have hit 50 kills here at 12 minutes. So that's something.
Yeah, we can bring all the analytical points that we want, but at the end of the day, it is an ARAM. They are just here to have fun. Perhaps they just want kills. You know, victory is not that
fun, right?
Not that important. Just the flashy plays. Sort of like practice.
It's also working out for the blue team as another engage from the Jarvan. Simone very, very low, but they're a little bit tanky now. 1000 IQ E-Girl will get us started. Yuzi in the backline trying to clean up the Jarvan. Chizu will get it done with the death from below, but we go back onto the front side. 1000 IQ E-Girl going down. Chizu trying to escape. Can she get into stealth? I'm not sure she'll be able to do it in time. It's going to be really, really close for the next round of spells from the Diana.
Hey.
There's the stealth, though. Pike gets away, and it's a 2 for 2.
It is a 2 for 2. I actually lost track of the goal, so I'm not sure who is the strongest right now. It's just been a continuous fiesta back and forth.
I
and,
think the real
I'm not
big
complaining.
thing is the structures. Blue team has a significant advantage on this map just because they've actually taken an inhibitor.
Yeah, they take an inhibitor, but the fact that Red Team, they are now pushed into, you know, basically their base at this point, they do have significantly more wave clear. And as the time goes on, Sivir is going to get stronger. She's going to be able to chunk out these minion waves. And it's just going to be much easier for Red Team to hold on to this game than, say, Blue if they were in a similar situation.
Yeah, and I will apologize. That bird you hear is actually not my bird. It's not
Oh,
Rakan.
is that right?
It's a bird that's sitting on my windowsill outside, and I can't make it go away. So I do
It's
apologize.
Rakan's friend.
Yeah, Rakan's been put in timeout.
Alright.
But let's get this game going, as it's now 29 to 25 in kills. Very exciting stuff.
Yep.
And let's see where the next breakpoint will be. The inhib under siege. Eagle getting hooked. The final spark comes out, but Chizu just gets locked up. Look at this Jarvan on the front side containing the main threat. Goes down for it, but I don't think she minds. But Candleburn might have something to say about it with a lot of damage coming out of this Akali. Simone coming in with the final hour. Does get tagged up by Lee Sin. Has to respect that one. But the chase is on. We know that Vayne passive means that the catch is inevitable, and Candleburn will make it happen even faster. Charging forward now onto Kiara Fly, and I think the blue team is in a little bit of trouble now. That tower is under imminent threat.
Yeah, but they are fine, and I do expect another engage to come in shortly.
Oh,
a bit of a whiff
there,
Candleburn. Very, very solid on this Akali so far, but Jarvan's back. They have more gold than red team now.
Yep, and the tower's down. The tower is now down. Structures are now equalized, but 2 ADCs hitting an inhibitor means I don't think that'll last very long.
Yeah, the AD carries now coming into their strong points, as now we do see blue having to hunker down in the same situation as perhaps red was seen previously. They are going to have a difficult time doing so because, again, they don't have that much wave clear, as you do see red is now retreating back to their base, picking up all the health relics on the way. Clody, though, stepping up way too far.
Absolutely.
Just going for the reset.
Yep, that is just a I need to buy items. And there it is, the Infinity Edge immediately bought up for the Sivir and a full Bloodthirster. So, good reset timing, I think.
Yep, 4.4k was the gold that Sivir did back with. So, that is a whole chunk of extra damage that's going to come in. As you can see, the 4th death, but they're going to try to capitalize on this take that hit.
Yeah, I think they will be able to as well. We are in a situation where it's only Nexus structures standing on the map. Blue team has the tempo advantage for now, but Clody will be respawning momentarily.
Yeah, we've been seeing, the power dynamics beginning to shift over towards red at this point. We did see blue sort of winning most, if not all, of the fights early on, but we are now seeing that, hey, red is starting to be able to retaliate. And now begs the question, what can blue do? I think they have to begin forcing something, because as you can see, the gold is actually equalized 50-50.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is just going to come down to, is the engage good enough onto those 2 AD carries? If Udyr in the front line can buy enough time for the AD carries to get rolling and get their damage done, blue team does not have much of a chance. But if they can get past that front line, straight onto the squishy backliners, it will be a really big deal. We just have to see what this Jarvan and this Warwick can do, because it's really on them.
And yeah, just before we start another fight, I just wanted to point out that, in the previous few fights, we did see a few misplays coming in from blue. We did see first one was Warwick jumping into the backline, trying rather to fight the 3 carries of red alone, which was never going to happen. The second time we did see Jarvan doing the exact same thing, so that's not exactly what you want to do. You want to get your entire team jumping on that backline, preferably Jarvan, Warwick, Lee Sin, and the Diana, and that's how you get enough damage onto the Vayne and the Sivir in order to take them out. You can't just have one member jumping in and expect maybe something will work that way. Because, honestly, it's just not going to work.
I think the idea behind that was to have a bit of a 2-stage fight. You send your Jarvan in to make sure that the carries can't participate while you kill the front line. And then you take a secondary fight where you actually kill their backline. The problem with that is Candleburn. That would work if there wasn't a hyper-mobile Akali that can be involved in the first stage of that fight. Jarvan can't lock an Akali up. She's going to get out of that cage and absolutely savage your damage dealers. So it's going to be a very hard question for blue. How do they navigate fights? As the bear slap did come in. There's the on the hunt. The move speed increases out. At the moment, they're just using it to reset the wave. But Yuzi, definitely very threatening here.
Okay.
We go back to just sending them back and forth.
Yep, one ultimate expended on the side of red on the hunt. Should be coming up by the time they... well, at least wrap up the next fight. But yeah, right now we are just going to continue seeing this back and forth. Definitely a change from the action-packed fights we've been seeing. Both teams sort of, stepping back and saying, maybe we don't really want to lose this game. Maybe it's time to sort of try a little harder.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to navigate this because the red team really struggles to engage. As
Yuzi
Yuzi
just
in the
running
middle of
it.
the enemy team. Here we go. Claria with a big kick onto the Sivir, doing a lot of damage. Chizu has got it started. There's a death from below. It has a reset. Candleburn in the backline. This is going very, very wrong for the blue side, as 4 of them are dead. 1000 IQ E-Girl can have all the brains that she wants, but I don't think it's going to match the brawn here of the red side, as that is a clean ace. The inhib will definitely fall, but I think it might stop there.
Yep.
And we keep it going.
Death timers.
Yep.
Death timers not just long enough. They are going to be taking the inhib, like you said. And you know, your analysis was exactly spot on. The fact that Candleburn was in that backline, taking up so much of the time of so many of the blue team carries. They're actually just going to go for the end, but it's not going to work.
This is just a reset.
It's just going to go for the setup.
Yeah, it's just a
The
reset.
reset round.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There's no real way that the blue team can get anything done with these death timers. So just send your carries to the death chamber. Let them buy some items as Claria. Lee Sin is a very sticky boy when he can run both his Q and the snowball. So that's very interesting for sure.
Right. They are just going to start pushing back. We should expect another fight to start up soon. Once again, we haven't been seeing the cleanest execution coming in from blue, but honestly, that isn't so much their fault as it is Akali being able to get into the backline and just sort of mess everything up. You know, their plan would have worked if not for the meddling Akali in their ranks.
Gonna have to pull that mask off and see who the blue team really is. As Yuzi taking a lot of damage, but this is just the Udyr. They don't want to invest too much damage into him. As, oh no, the Warwick ult had to be used as an escape. As they just got the inhib, and that's what they came for. And we return to a bit of a status quo.
Yeah, on the hunt also being expended, sort of whispers of the previous fight. As, wouldn't really expect anything to start up once again. I think both teams just happy to wait out their respective cooldowns at this point.
It'll come down to, I think, a very big...
it'll
Oh
come
no,
to
but
that.
there's a hook, and the fight will definitely kick off. The Diana ult does get a bit of displacement, but it doesn't really get that much damage. To 2 for 1 so far. Make that a 2 for 2. It's 1000 IQ E-Girl in the back line, but no, I tell a lie, as 5 members of the blue team have now gone down. The fight was over in an instant, and the 280 carries and Candleburn show why we keep talking about them, as they're the ones that are left alive. And 15 seconds on the clock. I'm not sure if they have time to end, but they definitely have time. They can definitely get towers, which opens up the back door like we saw last game.
Alright, here comes the reset. Once again, coming in from Candleburn. Is sitting on 5,600 gold. Oh boy. They're actually just gonna try to end this. This is 280 carries. They have a lot.
They
and a lot of
potentially
damage
can.
from range.
I mean, there's no harm in going
nope.
for it. Just even if you die, I think it's okay. Only need a few more autos. It's close.
Yep, and that is a very, very, very unhealthy nexus for the next push. You would
And
think
there is a pike.
There is a pike, and we haven't been talking about the pike all that much, but truth is that, you know, she has been able to find a lot of significant engages. Like,
oh, they're going for it! I don't think that one's gonna work there, Chizu, as that pike will be going down. Unfortunate. Pop the Ghost Blade and the Ghost Water Dive, but didn't get very far.
You try to go for the back door, but what happens when you walk into a bush and you find the entire enemy team waiting there for you?
Yeah, it was a little bit easier last game for Kane to get it done, as it's hard to run into the enemy team when you're inside a wall. Now, they could be in some trouble as they're going to take the 4v5. Hickey going forward on the Jarvan, but look at these big health bars. All the damage is being used onto the front line. Yuzi does finally go down. Never mind, they still haven't. It's 1 kill for 2. The Nexus Tower falls, but it's only Claria left alive for the blue side. And I think they can just run it in. The triple kill for Candleburn. 19 kills on the Akali. And I think this one should be coming to an end.
Man, this Akali, man, every time we see a fight, she's just in the backline instantly. Like, we don't see her until, you know, sort of the end of the fight where she actually just walks back up to clean up the rest of the blue squad. And it's just so much of a disruption. It's so difficult for blue to play. And at the end of the day, they are going to lose this game. Red is going to be victorious.
That they are. And it was an incredibly bloody game, not quite as long as our first one.
Yep.
What is there to say? That was explosive from minute 1. And it didn't stop until the Nexus fell. That was 84 kills in that game.
That's a lot of kills.
That's a lot of kills in 24 minutes.
Oh, that's true.
That is a lot of
I believe
kills.
the word you did use was ping pong.
Yeah, that was one way to put it, for sure, as it was very much back and forth.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Udyr, 6,000 damage less than Pike. Knowing her place though, building full tank and just being disruption in the backline along with the Akali.
Genuinely was really effective at that. We saw so much damage having to being dumped into this Udyr. There was Lux ults being used on an Udyr rather than being pointed at the carries, which is not ideal. So Yuzi definitely had a little bit of an unfortunate, sad role, but a very necessary and a very well played one. Very well done there from all members of the red team, and the blue team put up a very, very good fight as well, for sure.
Indeed.
So that brings us to the end of round 3. We'll be back in not too long. Bring you another match. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We hope you've been enjoying it. We hope you keep enjoying it. See you soon.
Yeah.